This video is brought to you by Dr. Kristen R. Bromley's Guitar Method Book Series and Online Music Academy.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kristen Bromley. Welcome to my online academy. I love being here helping you with playing the guitar. In this video, I'm going to go over the C-sharp minor chord. This chord is in the first position area. It's a bar chord that we end up playing a lot of times right along with other open position basic chords that we play on the guitar. We also, of course, play it along with other bar chords along the fretboards. So it's an important one to learn, and we're going to learn it here in this video. Once we've gone over this chord, we'll jam together on 5 different songs that use this chord along with some of the other chords that we've learned previously. So it's going to be great. And when I say jam together, I mean you, me, and the band will be jammed together on these songs. This video does accompany Lesson 13 from my Chords and Harmony Books 1 and 2 Method book. In that book, we'll be starting on page 78. You'll see a diagram for C-sharp minor right along with some of the other chords or all the other chords that are introduced in this lesson. Then we'll be jamming together on the songs. We're going to do songs 13 through 16, and then we're going to come back and do number 10. And we're going to be on pages 83 through 84 for songs 13 through 16, and then we'll come back to page 81 to do number 10. So it's going to be great. Let's take a look at C-sharp minor. Now, if you remember, and you've been working through all these lessons with me, we learned B minor a few lessons ago in the chords book. This is the great thing about bar chords. I've been mentioning this as we've been starting to learn bar chords. Once you learn the shape, you can actually move it along the fretboard and play different versions of that, different keys, different tonal centers. So we learned B minor where we barred at the 2nd fret. To play C sharp minor, all we have to do is take that same shape up and bar at the 4th fret and we get C sharp minor. I'm going to go over it more specifically though here. We're going to bar with our index finger across the top 5 strings at the 4th fret. Remember, when we're barring with our index finger, we got to turn it slightly to the side and push down the strings from over here rather than straight on. So I'm going to do that, and then the thumb goes just behind the fret that's above wherever your bar is. So my bar's at the 4th fret, my thumb's behind the 5th fret. That way you get some leverage in there as you play that bar. Then what we're going to do is put our middle finger 1 fret higher in the 2nd string, ring and pinkies 2 frets higher on that 3rd and 4th string. You might notice that this little fingering shape matches the A minor chord that we learned a long time ago in the lesson series. Now we just have a bar in front of that shape and we get C sharp minor or B minor depending on where we put our hands. So I put that bar at the 4th fret, put my middle ring and pinky fingers on, strum the top 5 strings. With my bar, of course, I've got it touching that 6th string, so it's muting it. So if I strum that one, it doesn't ring. Once you've put the shape down, you just want to strum a little, get kind of used to it. It's a fun sounding minor chord. So just like that, just as simple as that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and jam together on these songs. If you come across a chord you can't remember how to play, remember there is that reference sheet towards the back of the book that shows you how to play all the chords that we've been learning in first position. So, and this is actually the last of the what we'll call first position chords that we're learning. From now on, with these basic chords, we're going to learn bar chords that go all over the neck. That's what's going to be coming next. But we've learned all the open position basic chords, major, minor, and dominant 7th. We've learned the bar chords, now including this one, that happen in this first position area that we end up playing with some of these other first position chords, and that we also can play with other bar chords. So now as we continue, we'll be learning bar chords all over the fretboard, and then we'll start learning other types of chords with other colors, both in first position and along the fretboard. So lots of great chords that we learn with the Chords and Harmony book here, but our focus with this one. And if you come across a chord you can't remember how to play, there's that reference sheet. So with each one of these songs, as we're jamming, they're going to happen at 2 tempos like they normally do, a slower tempo and then a faster tempo. The strumming pattern for each of the songs is right next to the song. So whichever strumming pattern we're going to be using is right there. They're all familiar. The down, down, up, down, up strumming pattern, and the down, down, up, down, up, down, up, or down, down, up for 3/4. We'll start learning some new strumming patterns as well with lesson 14 as we continue through the book. So we'll get more strumming patterns happening, which is super fun too. But right here we're working on C sharp minor with some of these fun songs to jam along. So look at those strumming patterns, use the strumming pattern that is there for each one, and then if you need help remembering how to play a chord, check out how I'm playing it on the video, or flip to that back of the book and find that reference sheet, and that will help you. But we're just going to jam on them. Remember that you can just work the strumming hand if you need to by muting the strings, and you can just work the fingering hand if you need to as well. Of course, you can also just work on singing for the occasional song that has that in this lesson. So, super fun. Let's go ahead and jam together. Okay, awesome. I hope you are having fun with this. Remember, just practice bar chords a little bit at a time as you work up the strength. We don't want to overdo it and hurt ourselves, but we have to work up that strength and get stronger and stronger and more able to play bar chords. They actually open up the fretboard for us. So we've learned all the basic chords in first position, those major, minor, and dominant seventh chords. Now we've learned the bar chords that we use with those, but these bar chords are also used with other bar chords along the fretboard. As we continue through the lesson series, lesson 14 that goes with the Chords book is all about strumming, so we're going to learn new strumming patterns, which is great. Lesson 15 goes over bar chords all over the fretboard and introduces ones we haven't even played before. So once we learn those bar chords, it really opens up the fretboard for us, and also the ability to just play chords in any key, which is just so awesome, because we are limited to playing in certain keys in first position without the use of a capo. Of course, a capo allows us to play in other keys as well. It's just sort of a transposing way to do it. So we've got that to look forward to, and then we'll actually start learning other types of chords, power chords, add 9 chords, major 7th chords, minor major 7th chords, minor chords, 13th chords, 9th chords, lots of different chords to come. We'll learn some of them in first position, and we'll learn how to play them along the fretboard. So now we'll start learning some specialty chords, we could call them, in addition to the way big congratulations I have to give you on learning all those basic open position, first position chords, right along with these bar chords that we've been working on recently that we play along with them. So big congratulations. It's going to be fun as we continue through the lesson series. Take care, and I'll see you again. Thanks for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And be sure to check out more great content. You can find more information about me and my products at KristenBromley.com. Take care.